Hey YouTube, it's frog time. Hey YouTube, this is Tom at TM Aquatics, bringing you a quick video today on the L134 Leopard Frog Pleco tank. And I have shown this tank many times in previous videos. However, we rarely see any of the L134s in here, so today I'm going to do something a little bit different and something I don't like to do very often, and that is to shine a torch into the caves. So let's go ahead and ignite the torch. Let's just take a look at what we have down here in this tank, just to show you guys some L134s. Over here on the left, that is a adult female. In that first cave right there, in that second cave, that is a juvenile that I have. One of 3 juveniles. Let's see, that cave is empty. Over here, there's 2 more juveniles, one in the cave, one out of the cave. So that's all 3 juveniles and 1 adult so far. I believe that's one of my females in there. Empty. Over here, that is another adult. No, I was going to say there are 2 in there. That would be great news if there was. And then over here, 2 more adults, and I know on the far right that is my largest male. That's my younger male. Female on the left, male on the right. Underneath the sponge filter, you can see the reflection. That's another adult female. So, total of 8. And of the 8, 5 are adults, with 3 of those being female, 2 being male. These have not spawned for me yet. Still waiting for that first spawn. I just concluded a 3-week dry period in which I allowed the water to evaporate as much as it wanted in the 3-week period. So this 55-gallon tank went down to about 40 gallons. So I lost about 15 gallons. In that time period. The water had dropped about 6 inches over the 3 weeks. During that time, the TDS rose from about 155 is where it started, or 150, and ended at 255. And then at the conclusion of that 3-week grace period, or 3-week dry period rather, what I did is I dropped the volume of the water again from about 40 gallons down to about 20 gallons. And then from there, I topped it off with pure RO water, not remineralized. So after the tank was filled back up, the TDS was reading around 70, give or take. The water was also colder. I maintained this tank at 82 degrees, and the water that I put back in was at 76 degrees. And that's supposed to simulate a rainstorm, the end of the dry season, and then the rain coming in and colder waters, and eliminates all the nitrates out of the water. And it has been noted that that can spark these guys into some courtship and spawning behavior. Sadly, mine have not read that chapter yet. But so far, nothing out of the ordinary, just L134s hanging out in their caves like they normally do. So some of these might be a little young yet. I do believe the adults are of the age where they can breed. But again, nothing yet. All 8 of my specimens are wild caught. I am looking to add more to this colony of 8. I had an opportunity a while ago, maybe 2-3 months ago, to buy another group of 8, and I passed on it, and now I regret that, because I would like to increase this colony from 8 to at least 12, if not 16. But I'm looking for wild caught. Sadly, my LFS has not seen these on his price list from his suppliers in quite a while, and there's another place that I buy some plecos from, Freshwater Exotics in Franklin, Wisconsin, and they just got a big shipment from Colombia and Brazil, and they did not pick up any more L134s. So I hope that's not the end of the 134 Wildcats coming in. It has been rumored for a while that these guys were going to be on the ban list, the export ban list, for sometime in 2018. I hope that's not the case. So if any of you watching this video know of any place where I could source some Wildcat L134s, I would be grateful if you could help me out and point me in their direction. And again, I'm looking for at least 4. I'll take whatever I can find, but ideally at least 4, if not more. Otherwise, these guys are doing real good. I did add some dither fish to this tank, as you can see. Some dwarf neon rainbow fish. I threw a dozen of those in. My LFS had a big group of them, and they're selling them for $4, so I picked up a dozen. I'll probably go back and pick up another 4. They also owe me a replacement because one of the fish they gave me is missing an eyeball, and they're really good about stuff like that. So it's like, hey, do you want this fish back? I'd prefer to buy a fish with both eyes. And they just said, just stop back in, we'll give you another. But these guys have really acted, I mean, these guys have done a great job as dither fish. They love the current. They're fine with the temps. They're fine with the water chemistry. And yeah, so that's that. So moving forward with this tank, this thing is going to be torn down here temporarily in the very near future. I'm going to be tearing down the 2 20 gallons down here. And those will be emptied. I'm not setting those back up right now. I'm actually going to be building a new rack. So these tanks all need to be torn down. The stand's going to be torn down, and a new rack's going to be built with a 40 long on the bottom, a 55, and then up above that will be a 33 long. I was hoping to get another 40 long for up above the 55, but my LFS ran out of them, and I purchased a 33 long. But as far as these L134s, what I've been feeding these guys lately, I feed them quite a bit of different food. I like to provide a variety in their diet. I picked up some samples from Gold Coast Aquatics on this Ebo Aquaristic food, and I've read a lot and heard a lot about this stuff, and it is every bit as good as people talk about. Picked up a sample pack of, these are 25-gram sample packs of the shrimp stick, also a mussel stick. These are more like big pellets, like maybe 6mm pellets. And then some soft gran mussel. And these L134s just tear into this stuff here. It's a soft pellet, but it's a very high protein, so you really got to be careful on how much you feed. And same with this here, seafood soft gran. This is more like a 1 mil pellet. And yeah, you got to be very careful not to overfeed because it's very high protein food. Some other foods that I've been, I always feed is the Omega Veggie Rounds, the Omega 1 shrimp pellets. I have some earthworm and blackworm pellets in there from California blackworms. And then the Fluval Bug Bite Pleco formula. These guys really like this as well. And this is a much lower protein food. I think the protein on this is only like 32%. But they really rip into that stuff too. And then on top of that, I do toss in some bloodworms from time to time, maybe once a week. I also feed 3 different types of rapashi, and I like to mix mine together. I have the Soylent Green Bottom Scratcher, and the other one is the Community Omnivore formula. And I like to mix those with 2 parts of Bottom Scratcher to 1 part of Soylent Green and 1 part of Community Omnivore. And these guys just devour that. As well as I have a DIY gel food with some different pellets in there, some excess food that I have, some flake foods, some North Fin pellets blended up, and then I have a bunch of fresh ingredients in there like zucchini and frozen peas and sweet potato. I put in some freeze-dried blackworm and some frozen bloodworms, and these guys just love that DIY gel food. I don't know what the protein content is, but bottom line is they just devour it. So, but anyways, I'm going to keep chugging along with this tank. I really hope someday I can get these guys to trigger and spawn for me. It is my fish room goal to spawn these guys and to get some babies out of these L134 Leopard Frog Plecos. So just keep providing what they need, and hopefully Mother Nature in time will take its course. So Anyways, folks, I'm going to wrap it up right there. Just wanted to share some of a little more in depth on this 134 Leopard Frog Pleco tank. I should mention, when I tear this tank down and set it back up, I am going to add a layer of substrate in here. And I think I'm going to put some sand in there and maybe some river rock, pool filter sand and river rock. And I'm going to actually try to find some additional driftwood and put a few more driftwood tangles in there as well. And then maybe add another power head on there for a little more circulation. But it'll be set up similar but yet different when I set it back up. But anyways, we'll wrap it up. Appreciate you watching. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do. And if you have any comments or questions, leave them below. Hit the like button on your way out. And like always, folks, until the next one, catch you all later.